Hello, and here we are again. Last we left off, we were getting tarot readings, and now
I don't have anything to say to Herr Huber at the moment.
we are gonna leave here and get a move on.
Guess they're closed. Von Rollick slept here.
Alright, well.
That's the church in the square.
Alright, let's... Is the plant still here? Let's see if Greta's back. If she's not back in there, we can check the...
Schloss.
Damn it, go in.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Let's go up. Hold on. So... Come on.
Nice closet.
What the hell?
Nice.
Damn it. I said open.
That hole is a
Yeah, okay. There we go. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's go down. Maybe she's down here. Okay.
How convenient.
Okay.
I don't want to go back into Gerda's bedroom. She might catch me and...
Weird. Okay, so let's... Here we go.
that hole.
Maybe she's in here?
I wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before. Yep, English. Huh.
There's nothing else on werewolves in the occult section.
I'm not sure what other case books would be relevant. Nothing else I can use in the biography. Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive. He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships. The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult.
In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition and loved to hike alone in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Schahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Schahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years.
A hunting accident?
That's a hell of a jump.
Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved. A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit. His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by His Majesty, that should tell you who the young man looks like, at all hours of the night. This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880, when he fell into disfavor. The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of the diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate that Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation, yet it is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart and his conscience to sin.
Wow.
I'll write to Gabriel, soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water.
Can we call the professor again?
Professor Barkley will call when he finds out something.
Okay.
I wonder what Gerda's up to.
Okay, but where is she?
Gerda's been a...
I didn't go inside the church, right?
I don't want to disturb her.
Gerda's here. I wonder what she's up to. Oh my god. Gerda was in love with Wolfgang. Boy, do I feel stupid or what?
Hmm.
Gerda's at the church.
Okay, yeah, I need to open it. Anyways, we're gonna call it here and save. Silver heart. And until next time, talk to you guys later.